have to show it. They have to share it. They have to get these messages out there. If you see it, report it, because no one else is going to do that if we don't do it ourselves, Charlie. It's disgusting, and it should not be happening in America. It shouldn't be happening anywhere else in the civilized world, but that's the reality. Okay, you look at Haiti, you look at the demographic makeup, you look at the average IQ. If you import the third world into your country, you are going to become the third world. That's just basic. Like, it's not racist, that's just fact. You see that happening in these places.
You know, it's about time we stop having reality-based conversations with dishonest people like Don Jr., whose only reason to rail on immigration is to claim dominance and supremacy. He gets it from his father.
Reporting of 911 calls even show residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese. They take in the geese. You know where the geese are? In the park, in the lake. And even walking off with their pets. My dog's been taken. My dog's been stolen. This can only happen. These people are the worst.
He finds slightly different ways to keep telling the same hateful lies. It's not being done to get any truth out. It's being done to keep us arguing about it. His policy is anger, division, bigotry, and violence.
Illegal Haitians, and he came in, illegal Haitian migrants taking over a beautiful place. It was so beautiful. Springfield, Ohio. I was there. I campaigned there a while ago. Springfield, it was so beautiful. Now it's just, what a place. Can you imagine you have this small little community, all of a sudden you have 20,000 illegals in your community. Nobody knows where they come from. I'm angry about young American girls being raped and sodomized and murdered by savage criminal aliens.
He went from them eating people's pets to them raping and sodomizing your daughters. This is a carbon copy strategy widely used in our not-so-distant past that had white mobs randomly accusing black people of savagely coming for your pure daughters. It's part of the Republican Party's absolute refusal to acknowledge our dark past, all the way back to slavery. They think they can use the exact same language to create second-class citizens to have fewer rights. It's obsessive. He pitches hate in every stance he has.
Finally, I will save America's suburbs by protecting single-family zoning. The radical left wants to abolish the suburbs by forcing apartment complexes and low-income housing into the suburbs right next to your beautiful house. Right next, you have a beautiful house, and they want a nice low-income building to be right next to you. And I'm the one that says you can't build a low-income apartment house where people want to do harm when they move in, right next to your beautiful little house, right?
He really thinks suburbs only consist of white women vacuuming the house and cooking dinner in high heels and frilly aprons attached to dresses. Back when minorities stayed in their place before they could hurt your family. If nothing else, it's lazy racism. He's just betting on his belief that America is a very, very racist country with surrogates that have to embarrass themselves to justify it.
You guys are saying he's taking advice from her. How do you know that? Brian doesn't know that.
She's riding on the plane with him, posting memes that he then talks about and adds dogs into them in the debate.
Have you on this show had someone else who says crazy stuff, anti-Semitism, plenty of that on the left? Have you done the same kind of segment for Kamala? Because there's plenty of examples out there. So I just find this kind of juvenile, to be honest with you.
Right, but what you're not doing is you're not saying anything about Laura Loomer.
Right there.
So your argument.
Do one with her.
Right. What you're doing is you're trying to distract. Your argument doesn't. I'm asking about Laura Loomer.
I just find it juvenile. That's all.
Okay. Is it juvenile for the former president to hang out with her and to take advice from her?
I don't know that he's taking advice from her. Okay. I don't know who she is.
Is it?
So I don't know. It doesn't matter if he's on the plane.
I've been on that plane lots of times.
Did he take advice from you?
He took a lot of advice from me. He won in 2016, didn't he?
He brought her to 9/11 remembrances.
I don't know.
She's with him for days at a time. She's there for a reason. People aren't just.
I just think, Anderson. I just think yes, we might want to talk about like rumors. I'm not ruining reputation. We're just having a conversation about like rumors. I mean, this is not. The American people don't care about this. They just don't care about it.
After having nothing convincing to add to Trump's defense of openly running around with some of the most virulent racists in MAGA, Scott Taylor there predictably fell back on the emergency line of the American people don't care about this. But if they don't, why does Donald Trump keep saying the same thing that they don't care about? He wasn't done, though, tossing out these played-out lines designed to help him escape simply saying, yo, Donald Trump is wrong.
She's happy right now, Anderson. She's got to be super happy because she's getting tons of airtime right now for nothing. And just like Brian said,
I'm just asking you.
What you say is bad.
Okay,
you know, like,
I understand you don't want to answer the question because you're trying to deflect.
I'm not trying to deflect anything.
No, but that's your argument style, and I get it. I
What are you
understand
asking
the
me?
tactic.
What are you asking me?
Is it wise for, if she is giving him advice and he's taking advice from her, is that wise?
I don't know. Probably not. But I don't know he's taking advice. I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, based on the reporting,
On Brian's reporting?
Actually,
No,
the
based on
reporting
Trump's
about her
DNA.
being on the plane and the memes that then end up in the debate, and also...
Is there a reporter who sat on the plane with Donald Trump and said Laura Loomer is giving him advice? I mean, is there?
He's using her words, Scott.
Don't forget, this is the party that believes former President Obama is pulling Joe Biden's strings behind the scenes, that Donald Trump won the 2020 election in a landslide, and that his mob of insurrectionists were actually Antifa in disguise. But former Congressman Scott Taylor finds it hard to believe that while Trump is touring the country with Loomer on his hip, reciting the same things that she spouts, that they're like-minded people. His defenders know it, they just can't say it, or else they'll be made examples of, like just about every other Republican that told the truth. So the cowards and yes men are the ones hanging around.
Donald Trump said that people are eating cats and dogs in Ohio.
Why are you changing the subject?
Because I want to.
Right
no,
now.
I just want to know. I would love to know if you think he's losing touch with reality a little bit.
No, absolutely not. Second of all,
because you saw it on TV.
Second of all, the reality is, she dodged every major policy question.
No, but you're dodging this question.
What matters more to the American people?
I'm asking you, people are eating dogs and cats in Ohio.
You're not, listen, I actually do care about what is happening to our country.
Same.
Do you want to answer or you want me to answer?
You can go first.
Okay. I actually care about what's happening to this country.
Same.
All right, next question.
It was reported that Byron Donalds was one of the fewer surrogates that was uneasy about Laura Loomer's presence and Trump's dedication to the Springfield story. But he can't say that out loud, that Trump is wrong, or he'll lose his standing in the party that he's been given for his fealty.
Byron said that, please. Superstar of the future. He's already a superstar, but he's a superstar of the future. Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. He's great. He's great. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
It's no coincidence that the levels of outright racism has exploded in the month or so that VP Harris stepped in. After Trump and Vance realized that being disgusting misogynist wasn't working enough, they figured it's more comfortable to stop strongly pushing bigoted remarks and just openly be the bigots that they are, loud and proud. If nothing else, they hope it'll keep voters from talking about how disastrous he'd be on the policies that hurt even his MAGA base.
And in a media landscape where sensationalism often overshadows sincerity, we're left questioning, well, what happens to our collective understanding when facts are twisted to fit an agenda? When entire networks craft stories to reinforce pre-existing biases, the networks don't just skew the news, they shape our very sense of what is real and what is not. This trend doesn't just affect politics, it permeates our daily lives, influencing how we see the world and how we interact with others. All of this challenges us to confront some uncomfortable truths about the media's role in our lives and to reclaim our standing as informed critical thinkers. By seeking out genuine stories and holding media accountable, we can reconnect with a more authentic understanding of the world. It will not be easy. The forces that support bias and misinformation are significant. But remember, the goal here is not just to correct misinformation. It is to create a media environment that respects and honors our shared quest for truth and transparency. Our society depends on empirical facts. Our lives require information that is accurate and trustworthy. A post-factual world where anything and everything could be true is a recipe for chaos and instability.